Hey everyone, welcome back to the Living in Maryland channel where we discuss all things living here in the great state of Maryland. And today we are discussing a quick real estate market update here in Central Maryland. So we just got some recent figures coming out from Maryland Association of Realtors and wanted to share those with you and kind of give you a glimpse of what we're seeing in the market currently. So to kind of get right started here, we are still seeing a lot of competition. We are still seeing this continued shortage of inventory, just not many homes on the market. Overall, kind of affordability issues for kind of a lot of people that just continues to keep a lot of people on the sidelines and continues to just keep the market as far as overall homes available on the market very low. Although the market's not nearly as crazy as it was in 2021 and 2022 when interest rates were really low and just kind of in the beginning phase of their climb, we are still seeing kind of elements of that market here today in spring of 2025. So this is just something to continue to be on the lookout for, especially if you're a buyer, but also as a home seller, just kind of, being aware kind of how the market is. So we are still in a seller's market with, pretty low inventory. So if a home is priced well, if it shows well, it is very likely going to get multiple offers in the first weekend. And then if that home is slightly off price point wise, we do still, are continuing to see homes maybe sit on the market a few weeks, somewhere between 30 and 45 days, just depending on how well that home is priced. But if it is priced right out the gate, we are still seeing, many homes go under contract with multiple offers. And the biggest difference between kind of the craze of 2021, 2022 market, and the difference between today's market is that although the competition kind of has similar feels to it, there's just not the crazy terms and conditions imbalance that we saw in 2021 and 2022. So although there's multiple offers today, we're seeing not as crazy terms and conditions today as we saw back then, which is so I guess that's certainly a good thing. It's not nearly as imbalanced as it was, but the competition level is still there, especially depending on how competitive the individual zip code and individual neighborhood could be. So as far as the what to expect interest rates wise, so we've had some pretty big swings in the last few weeks with everything going on in the economy. So we've been seeing big moves in the stock market as well as the bond market. The 10-year treasury is kind of the biggest thing that impacts your traditional mortgages here for home buyers. So when you see that 10-year treasury and those yields going up, we've been seeing days where the 10-year treasury is up between 2 and 4%. So when you have moves that big in the bond market, we're seeing interest rates increase somewhere between 10 and 15 basis points, which could be 6.9 to 7.0 interest rates. So those are big swings. So this is something to keep in mind, especially if you are a buyer in the marketplace, but as well as a seller, because if you're selling a home and buyers are looking at these type of moves in the interest rate market and the bond market, this is something that's going to impact everybody. So that's something to be aware of as well. With just big swings in the treasury markets, this is impacting interest rates significantly. So something to keep an eye on. So we were seeing conventional mortgages get down to around 6.5, as far as early as a couple weeks ago. They're back up to 7. So this is how quickly things are changing with interest rates. So something to certainly keep a pulse on, keep an eye on as we continue to move forward. Today, your national average for a 30-year conventional mortgage is 7.07%. Your national average for government loans, which is your FHA and VA loans, is right around 6.5%. So as far as interest rates, that's what you can expect in the marketplace right now. Another thing that we are continuing to see as we move in and through this year of 2025 is we are seeing units sold on the decline again. So again, we got a reprieve from this last year. We were seeing units sold. So what that basically just number of homes selling in the marketplace. We were seeing that increase last year, which was a good sign. There was more inventory coming to the market, things of that nature. But this year, again, we're back to more of like what we were seeing in 2023, which was steep units sold decline. So in the last data that came out here in the last week is showing a 10% units sold decline from this time last year. So and we've seen that in the few months here in the first quarter of 2025 as well. Each and every month has been units decline. So we're just seeing less and less people listing their homes for whatever reason. We are still seeing steady buyer demand. So when you combine those two things, it's just going to continue to exacerbate that kind of demand issue and that competition that we're seeing here in the marketplace. Now, with the last data coming out, we are seeing your average home price across Maryland up 3.2%. Your median home price up 3.7%. So we are seeing year-over-year home prices up, less than what we were seeing in the last couple years, but it is still up year-over-year. Days on market currently, the median is 12 days on the market. The average is 10 days on the market. So we are still seeing homes, like I said, selling pretty quickly, although that is up over over what we were seeing last year. So it's kind of interesting because we're seeing kind of two things happen. We're seeing that demand and that competition still present in the marketplace, but we're also seeing at the same time, we're seeing price increases kind of come down a little bit off of what we were seeing in previous years. We're also seeing days on market at the same time slightly go up. So this time last year, we were probably seeing a median days on market around 6 or 7 days. Now it's 10 to 12. So we're seeing that come up a little bit. We are also seeing months of inventory slightly come up. So as I've explained in previous videos, when we look at kind of demand within a real estate market, we're looking at the absorption rate, also called months of inventory. So how quickly would everything that's on the market right now sell and go under contract and no longer be available to an active buyer in the marketplace? So, what we've seen in previous years when things were really crazy was we were seeing under 1 month of inventory or around 1 month of inventory, and anything under 3 months of inventory is a pretty significant seller's market. So we have seen that come up to now an average across Maryland of around 2 months of inventory. So we've seen that start to come up. So if that trend continues, maybe towards the end of this year, maybe sometime in the next year, we might see that start getting closer to 3 months, and then that's when you would really start seeing things normalize as far as competition, as far as terms and conditions within the marketplace when it comes to putting contracts and bids on properties. As always, just like to mention, I am a licensed realtor here in the great state of Maryland. If you ever have any questions about buying or selling real estate here in Maryland, feel free to reach out however you are most comfortable. We will see you at the next video, and I will definitely keep you all posted as we see market changes here in Maryland and what the market's doing as we move forward here and kind of launch into our spring market. So it'll be interesting to see what happens within the spring and moving into summer here in Central Maryland. We will see you at the next video, and have an awesome day.